Today what we'll be mainly be covering are the new games, video games that are being released for the different platforms like PC, PS3, Xbox, PS4, Xbox One, all these. Video games that we'll be seeing for this particular video will be action games, and namely three: Assassin's Creed Unity, Assassin's Creed Rogue, and Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. And also, which is not being released anywhere now, a game to be released in 2015 beginning around February end or so is Witcher 3. So Witcher 3 will not be a focus for this video. However, the other three are going to be discussed in quite a bit of detail. So let's start. The game we'll discuss right in the beginning is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. Now, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor is a game which is being created parallel to the story of Middle-earth that has been written by J.R.R. Tolkien, and also the story that is shown in the movies of the books written by J.R.R. Tolkien. You would remember that he writes as if he's narrating and explaining the stories of how a world began, how it originated, and how the hills were constructed and the plains were made and the valleys carved, how different gods and deities were there, and how greater human beings came, and then how man, elf, dwarves, and all these different creatures came, battles, wars. It's an entire history. And if you have read it, you'd also know that it is huge. How he writes it, it's a world, and if it's a world, there will always be events which cannot be stated. You can never tell everything about a world. So that is why, because he's constructed an entire world, it is possible to create parallel stories and stories not said by even him, because it's a world. So that is how even Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor works. So in Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, the story is of that of a ranger on the periphery of the black land of Mordor, and he's guarding the black gates and all those fortresses around it after the great battle between Sauron and the men and elves. So it's describing that, and then how this orc assault takes place, and all of the rangers are killed, his family is killed, and only he lives in the end. And actually, he doesn't live, he's dead, and then his soul, his body is mixed with that of an elf, Celebrimbor, who, if you remember, is the forger of the Rings of Power. So, so even though Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor is like other action games, it's a third-person role-playing game where you're a ranger or warrior and you're going around completing missions and everything. It's a vastly open world. Then, even a vastly open world is present in the game. So, one of the chief features which makes it really different from other games and sets it apart is the nemesis system. Now, of course, it won't make sense just with the name. So, the nemesis system makes an enemy unique every time you fight him. So, if say you fought X enemy, and then after 5-6 missions, he returns again because you weren't able to kill him or something, or he ran away or anything, then he would have developed his personality, come to fear you, or be angry at you, and he would remember the past encounter. So enemies actually grow. They're growing continuously in skill, promotion, ranks, everything. So a soldier, a simple orc soldier, could be a soldier when you fought him, but the next time when you fight him, he could be a chieftain. He could have an entire battalion of orcs behind him. So in Middle Shadow of Mordor, your enemies and your opponents, and I'm not sure if there are friends. I couldn't find any information on that, but if there are friends, then I'm sure they will also be growing. So, in Middle Shadow of Mordor, each character is given a unique personality. Not given, develops a unique personality. That's one of the coolest features I've seen in a game. So let's hope it works very well. And then the other feature is that there's this spirit world version of your ranger, and there's this normal version of this ranger. So in the normal one, he's a man. He runs with normal speed. He's a good fighter and all that. But in the spirit world, he becomes Celebrimbor. So as Celebrimbor, he can control enemies. He can shoot arrows, stun them, execute powers, increases speed, fight better, all those things. So that's another interesting feature. You can start a move as a normal man and then you can end it as Celebrimbor. So it's just a lot of unique gameplay and lots of gameplay tactics and everything. So it's a very interesting concept. So Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor is to be released on September 30th, which is around the corner. So I would suggest you go ahead and get it. It's going to be an awesome game. It's available for PC, PS3, Xbox, PS4 I'm not certain, and Xbox One I'm not certain. That means it should be there for those two too. So it's going to be an awesome game, it seems. Let's hope it works out. Thank you, and now we'll go on to Assassin's Creed Unity. So in Assassin's Creed Unity, the mechanics are quite a bit changed and there are a lot of new features, so it is as much of a change as Black Flag was from 3 and all the previous ones, and 3 was from the others. So it's a huge leap forward in the series, it seems. So the story is set in the French Revolution, so it's mainly just in those areas, and there's a huge revolt going on and people are showing their dissent and anger at the government and the rule of the king and all that. So all that is there, and then how this Assassin's Creed, then takes part and then assassinates the rulers and all those, and how what are their actions, and you play the role of Arno, I think. I'm not sure the name. I think it was Arno. So you play the role of Arno, and there are lots of new weapons and tactics and features and mechanics which we'll now discuss. So the new mechanics are like you can jump from one to another post or pillars, levels and ridges and stuff without exactly taking time. So there's this button and you press it, and there's this combination, and then you press it and he'll jump from one to another possible one, so that it's much more fluid. Then combat is much more fluid, and then one of the main features is the multiplayer. The multiplayer has been made so you can actually play some of the missions, the story missions, with your friends. There's a maximum of 4 friends in your game, and it's quite interesting, and you can upgrade your assassin and make him as you wish, and with clothes, combinations, weapons, and his specialization, whether he's a thief or warrior or what, that kind of stuff. So there's a kind of skill tree, I guess, and all that. So there's a lot more uniqueness to the player's character, so it's going to be a lot more interesting and a lot more customizable, and so it's going to get quite interesting, much more than I feel that the others have been. The only thing that I feel that is lacking in it is there's no sea warfare. So that was a really nice thing that was introduced in Black Flag and early in Assassin's Creed 3. So it was very interesting, and they've removed it because obviously there wasn't much. It is more of descent and weapon within a country, so there's not much to do with the ships and the seas and everything, but I will just miss it, but it's not there. So but it's not like they've removed it, it's just that it's not fitting in, so it's okay. Then the weapons are really unique now. There's this phantom blade, which is a hidden blade plus crossbow, so that's nice. And then if you pre-order, then you also have the option of, I believe, selecting one weapon which comes with your pack, so you have a extra weapon right in the beginning, which is an advantage on the net. And then that is mainly Assassin's Creed Unity, and it's very diverse, so there are lots of different missions and everything. So you can also see a lot of videos on the Ubisoft site, which has all the Assassin's Creed Unity and Rogue videos. There you can find more. So that's it for Assassin's Creed Unity. We'll talk about Rogue. Rogue is very similar to Black Flag in its mechanics, its graphics, its controls and all that. Possibly graphics are a bit upgraded, but it's very similar. It's not like Unity, which is having whole set of new stuff in it. It's quite similar to Black Flag. One of the main features is that you are playing as a Templar, which is really new. Like, you always had to play as a assassin. The only time you had an option or even had a little taste of it was in Black Flag right in the beginning, if you remember. So that was the only chance you had in the entire series. So this is the first time you get to play it properly. And then and then the ships are a bit upgraded. There are these new guns. There's this buckle gun, which is like a machine gun, and then there is boiling oil mechanic, boiling oil pouring ability of your ship, so that you can pour oil behind as a trail, so that any ships chasing you can burn. So that's there, but it's not hugely different except for the Templar feature, and you get to it's a huge world, so you can go to the Arctics and the Americas and all those places and everything, but it's still very similar to Black Flag, so it's not that much to talk about. But you're this assassin who, after feeling that the assassins were wrong, decides to join the Templars and take revenge on his old brothers and friends, the Assassin's Creed. So he is like all the others, having eagle vision and all those abilities, but it's not that exciting for me, at least. Assassin's Creed Unity is going to be released on PS4, Xbox One and PC. Rogue is being released on Xbox 360 and PS3. Both are being released on the November 11th of 2014, and yeah, that's it for the Assassin's Creed series. And now Witcher 3. So as I said, Witcher 3 is not going to be much of a focus for this video specifically. We'll release another video about it once we are a little closer to the release date. And Witcher 3, however, is going to again be featuring Geralt of Rivia. He's a bit older. The gameplay mechanics and graphics and everything, I guess, are going to be upgraded a bit. The controls and the basic concept should remain the same, I guess, because it's the same person's story and everything, so I don't know how much they'll change. And it's being released late February 2015 on PS4, Xbox One and PC. So that will cover in another video. So that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. Please subscribe, and we'll see you again next time with another video. Bye.